Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Electric Bilodeau. It is Wednesday. We are very excited. Coming up for next week, next Wednesday, is the Low Country debut of All Elite Wrestling. And yes, I saw pretty much the entire newsroom's eyes just roll at me at one time, just as I said that. I saw that. I saw it up there, Sam. Don't deny that. Anyway, though, we do have the AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy was nice enough to join me on Monday for a quick preview of the show. Here's what the International Champion had to say.
Very excited. The AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy joins us on Electric Bilodeau this afternoon as AEW gets ready to make their first ever appearance in the Low Country coming up a week from Wednesday. Orange, how are you, man?
Not as tired as I usually am. It's been a slower month than I usually have. So I'm just hanging out. I have the belt here too. So I don't know if everybody's gonna see this, but
we can see it.
I always bring it. I always have it with me at all times.
I love it. Now that leads to one of my questions: the JanSport bag.
Yes.
Have you thought of upgrading that at all?
I've had this JanSport backpack for over, well, I don't want to say how long, but it's been over 20 years. So it goes everywhere with me, just like my championship does. So it felt very fitting to have to keep my championship in it.
I respect that. I wanted to talk about the year you've had. Coming off 2023, named one of the top 10 wrestlers in the country last year by PWI. You had the title for the majority of the year. Just coming off 2023, what was that year like for you?
It was exhausting, and there was a lot going on, and my body was very sore. My body still is very sore. I'll never forget 2023 for the amount of times I've wrestled and the places I've been able to go. And it was a surreal experience, and I never really stopped to think about what I was doing because I just had to keep going. So there was no reflection time. So I had a couple of weeks now to reflect on 2023, and I just have to say it hurt.
Is there a time or a moment that sticks out to you most? Was it wrestling at Wembley or winning the title back, or is there anything that really sticks out for you?
Yeah. So I think the correct answer is Wembley because why not? That's one of the biggest wrestling shows ever, right? I think that's one of the biggest. It'll go down as one of the biggest wrestling shows of all time, and that's the easy answer. But I think the championship run I had the first time with the International Championship and the amount of opponents I was able to face, the different styles I was able to face, the different places I was able to go because of it. I think that holds a very special place for my 2023. And I think winning it back from John Moxley in November was a culmination for me that I felt that I needed.
Like I said, you guys coming to Charleston a week from Wednesday. First time AEW is going to be here in the Low Country. You guys have been a company for 5 years now, but still, when you make these trips to a city for the first time, does that kind of amp everyone up a little bit to show people who haven't seen it yet what this company's all about?
Yeah, it's crazy that we've been around for 5 years. We still have it, and there are still places like Charleston that are very good wrestling towns that I've wrestled before AEW, and it's always very exciting to go to these new places because the fans are definitely eager, and there is a different atmosphere with a brand new place than there is a place that we go to all the time. And sometimes a place like Charleston, to me, is a better experience of the fans because they know they're wrestling in Charleston, so it's fun.
Had you been here before you went to AEW? Had you wrestled in Charleston at all?
Yeah, and I couldn't tell you when, I couldn't tell you for who, but I just know I've been there.
You mentioned the company's been around for 5 years. You've been there since the start. What's the biggest change you've seen in AEW since things started to where you guys are at now?
I think the size of our company is the biggest change. I think that a lot of us see. When we started, it was, I don't even know how many, it was 30 members of the roster, maybe. I'm not sure exactly. But now we've almost tripled that And the fact that we only had one show on Wednesday for 2 hours, now we have 3 shows, and 2 of those are 2 hours, and one of them's 1 hour. It's quite remarkable at how quickly we grew, even during the pandemic. We were still able to keep going, and I think that's the biggest change from then to now.
When was the point in your run in AEW when you really realized that you and this character were really over with the crowd, and not just something cute that got a quick laugh or something, but when people really were excited to see you every week?
I don't know. I'm very different, and I don't think someone like me would have gotten the same opportunities other places that AEW has given me. And I think from the very beginning, when I was just hanging around different places, I was hanging out under the ring or hanging out in the bathroom, and then matches would spill into the bathroom and I'd just be standing there. I think that's when I kind of knew, like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and see if they like it. And AEW was brave enough to let me continue to do what I wanted to do.
We're scheduled to have Chris Jericho come into the station next week right before the show. How important was that feud you had with Chris Jericho early on in AEW to helping you build to where you are now?
I think it has everything to do with where I am now. I think that feud really made me understood what it would take to be consistent week after week after week, and face the top of the top people in professional wrestling. And Chris Jericho is absolutely one of those people. And I learned a lot, getting beat up and beating up him. So that really kicked it off for me, I think, to where I am now.
I think one of the coolest parts of seeing your fans is all the fan artwork they make of you, and the people who dress up like you going to the shows. Just to see all that, I know you see a lot of it online too. What does that mean to you that these fans have really gravitated towards you over the last few years?
It's probably the biggest compliment I think someone could get, especially when I go to meet and greets and I go to these towns and I talk to the fans and they say, I'm here and I brought my father or my mother or my sister or my significant other or whoever it is because they saw you and they wanted to come, and now I get to share professional wrestling with them, which is, the biggest compliment of bringing people together and then also getting new fans to professional wrestling.
Before I let you go, I wanted to ask, I read somewhere that a part of this character is based off of Paul Rudd from Wet Hot American Summer. Would you say that's accurate?
I don't know who that is.
All right, fair enough. Have you ever seen the movie?
Yeah, I love it. It's my favorite.
I was going to say, when was the first time you saw that?
2001 when it came out, I think.
And it's just something that resonated with you?
It's a great movie, and it was nice to see someone on screen relate to who I am.
Awesome. Well, Orange Cassidy bringing the International Championship with AEW here a week from Wednesday. We're really excited to have you here, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much to Orange Cassidy for joining us. AEW going to be over at the North Charleston Coliseum coming up a week from Wednesday, a week from today on January 17th. Still lots of tickets available. Now, we will be back here on Friday for the Friday Night Lights tailgate to get you ready for the weekend with college basketball and high school basketball. We'll be back here next Wednesday for another episode of Electric Bilodeau. Until then, everyone have a great week.